Call of Duty Mobile is a fantastic game. After playing this game for over 6 months now, long before the global release, I would go as far to say that this is one of my favorite mobile games ever, and one of my favorite Call of Duty games ever. And that includes Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, you name it. This game is fantastic. Now, with this game being such a big success and such a massive game on a global scale, this game is bound to have some things that players don't know about. So I did a little bit of research, and I found 10 things that you might have not known about in Call of Duty Mobile. Now, I don't expect you to not know all 10 of these things, because that's kind of crazy. There are some people that are very knowledgeable about this game, and hey, more power to you. But my hope is you learn at least a couple of new things from this video, and if you do, I would say it's a successful video. I really hope you all do enjoy this. Make sure to leave a like. And I also did a bit of research, and I found out that 80% of the people that watch my videos don't subscribe to my channel. Let's change that, shall we? I promise you, it's not like it's a binding contract. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. You just press a button, and I just don't want you guys to miss out on anything that I post in the future. I promise you'll like my content. You can unsubscribe the second you see something you don't like, but I just don't want you guys to miss out on future Call of Duty content. So hit that button. I'd appreciate it a lot. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so starting things off, the first thing you probably didn't know about Call of Duty Mobile is the fact that this game is the most important release of a Call of Duty game ever. This game will determine the future of Call of Duty as a series, and if this game keeps heading in the direction that it's going right now, this series has a great future ahead of it. There are far greater numbers of mobile players out there compared to console and PC, and that can bring in far more people to the Call of Duty franchise. And this game is a huge success story already. Now, if you look at the sales of Call of Duty games in general over the past few years, they've gone downhill. It doesn't mean the games are worse in the most recent of years, but it's like this community in general has lost its excitement about this series. Call of Duty Mobile is going to change that, and it's going to change that for the better. This is the reason why this game is the most important release of a Call of Duty game ever. So continuing on here, the second thing you probably did not know about Call of Duty Mobile is the sheer number of developers and publishers working on this game. The creators of Call of Duty Mobile wanted to have as smooth and as successful of a creation and release as possible, and they've done a good job so far. We all know and love Activision. They are one of the main development teams on this game, but Activision decided to partner up and co-develop with Teamy Studios to help create this game and perhaps make a game more suitable for a large Chinese audience. And then we have 3 different publishers for this game. Activision is working on the global release of this game. We have Garena, based in Southeast Asia, releasing the Southeast Asian version of this game. And then we have Tencent, working on publishing the Chinese version of Call of Duty Mobile. Having 3 different publishers allows for a greatest reach possible for this game, and considering how successful it is, they've done a very good job. So, the third thing you probably did not realize about Call of Duty Mobile is the fact that this game isn't pay to win. That might sound like a completely foreign concept to you, because I mean, if you look at the games of 2019, so many games are paid to win. It's like the developers only care about one thing, and that one thing is money. They're trying to squeeze as much of that as they can out of their player base, but the developers of Call of Duty Mobile do not do that. There's really only a few things that you can even use money for in this game. There's skins, of course, and you don't necessarily need skins to win. They look cool, but they don't make your gameplay any better. There's loot boxes, but you never need to even open up a single loot box to do well in this game. And then there's the Battle Pass, which does give you some pretty cool weapons, but again, you don't necessarily need that. You could use all the weapons that you unlock for free and still play very, very well in Call of Duty Mobile, and that's fantastic. They could have screwed this game up so much and made this game a microtransaction frenzy, but they didn't. They put the player interests at heart first. And I love that about this development team. This game is going places, and it's heading in the right direction so far. But continuing on, the fourth thing that you probably did not know about Call of Duty Mobile is the fact that you can actually shoot underwater in this game. Now, I completely understand if you're like, wait, what? I mean, I never even bothered trying that because I don't really know which scenario you would even be in to where this would come in handy, but somebody out there watching this video probably will need to use this at some point in the future. And the fact is, if you're in Battle Royale and there's a river near you or any type of body of water, you can actually go into the water, under the water, and then start firing your weapon. It's probably going to do less damage, and the bullet might even travel a lot less distance, just like real-life physics. But the fact is, you can shoot underwater, and that's probably going to come in handy to at least a couple of the people watching this video. So try it out. Jump into a Battle Royale match. See what happens. We're already almost halfway through this video, but we're not done yet. The fifth thing that you probably did not know about this game, I've said probably a lot now already, is the fact that you can actually make your hipfire a lot more accurate with a very simple trick. As you can see here in the gameplay, I have a little dot in the center of my screen, just like you would see with a crosshair in many other shooting games. That dot obviously is the center of my screen, and it makes me more accurate when I'm firing at people with hipfire. Here's how you do it. You go to your settings, you find a button that you don't ever use. For me, that would be the auto run button. I use sprinting while I'm actually using my controls. I don't ever press the auto run button. So what you do is you move the button that you never use right to the center of the screen, and then you minimize it to the smallest possible size. Once you do that, it's so small, it's like a little dot on your screen, and because it's going to be right in the center of your screen, you'll know exactly where to aim when you're using hipfire against an enemy player. It's a very simple trick, but you'll see a lot of pros using this in Call of Duty Mobile, and I can guarantee you it will make you more accurate when you're playing with hipfire. Already halfway through this video. The sixth thing that you might have or might have not known about Call of Duty Mobile, it really depends on how much you actually play Battle Royale, is the fact that there are 2 secret caves in the Battle Royale match. I've already talked about the first secret cave in my last video talking about secret locations. If you watch that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. There is a secret cave right at the top of the mountain here in Battle Royale. Once you drop out of the plane, you can fly over to this area right here. You can find this little rope that leads you way down into the depths of the mountain, and then right at the very bottom, there's actually some very impressive loot. This is becoming more and more well-known, so be prepared. There might be some other people here, but there still are a lot of people that don't know about this. And then the second cave is right here. I didn't even know about this, and I'm completely oblivious. But this cave is literally right here next to launch, and I never knew about it. So I thought I'd tell you guys about it in this video. Some people might not know about it, and it's just a really easy way to get loot that less people will be at, so you can actually loot in more relative peace compared to some of the other places in this match, like directly above you when the other people land at launch. So the seventh thing that you probably do not know about Call of Duty Mobile is another secret location. And the only reason you would know about this is if you watched, again, my video talking about secret locations. This is a special roof that you wouldn't normally be able to get to in the map firing range. And as you can see from the video here, you need to do a bit of parkour in order to actually get up here. This is one of those few secret locations that doesn't actually use any glitches to get to, so I think it's perfectly fine doing when you're in a match. And if you're over in this area of the firing range roof, you can get a very good vantage point on people spawning in over there. And then if you go all the way over to the other side of this roof, you're going to get a very good vantage point on people spawning in over there. Those are 2 very commonly spawned points in the map. And of course, the spawn points will change if you're playing in TDM, for example. But at some point, those spots are going to come in handy. And I think this is going to be a pretty useful secret location for you. But continuing on, guys, I mean, we don't have all day here, right? The 8th thing that you probably did not know about Call of Duty Mobile is the fact that this game is the most successful mobile shooting game of all time. It is, in fact, the 2nd most popular game ever released for mobile devices. There's only one that was more successful in its first month downloads, and that was Pokemon Go. This game, though, is really in a league of its own, beating games like PUBG Mobile and Fortnite Mobile, with 35 million downloads in its first week, 148 million downloads in its first month, and millions more over this month of November. This game has also earned $54 million in its first month, so it was a massive success. And I mean, we're talking about earlier this game not even being paid to win it's still getting that much money off of, people just wanting to open up loot boxes and getting special skins and stuff. This game is a massive success, and if the developers keep up what they're doing, I see no reason why this success can't continue long into the future. And talking about the future here, the 9th thing that you probably didn't know about Call of Duty Mobile is the Call of Duty game that this game is most similar to. You've probably heard of all of the big Call of Duty name games out there, Black Ops series, Modern Warfare series, the dreaded Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, all those games, right? Have you ever heard of Call of Duty Online? Call of Duty Online is only available for people in China. You actually have to have a Chinese ID to play that game, and that game was really unique because it was free to play, and it incorporated so many different elements from all of the past Call of Duty games into one single game. Now, Call of Duty Mobile is taking that same approach. It has so many of the best elements from the Black Ops and Modern Warfare series and is cramming it all together into one fantastic game, and this game is taking a striking resemblance to Call of Duty Online in my eyes. Both games are some of my favorite Call of Duty games out there, and the fact that I can now basically play a mobile version of Call of Duty Online right here in the global version without having to do any sketchy things, getting into a Chinese server, this has to be probably my favorite Call of Duty game ever. That's saying a lot, and I don't hesitate in saying that statement. Now, finishing up here with this list, the 10th and the final thing that you might have not known about Call of Duty Mobile, maybe if you're just starting out with this game, and it's probably a little bit more apparent if you're a very experienced player, is we have a very, very active development team with this game. A lot of times when games are released, the development team is pretty lax whenever they actually finally get the game out there. People start hacking the game, and the development team is just like, we'll get around to it, it's fine. The development team of Call of Duty Mobile are a completely different mindset. They are constantly finding hackers, seeking them out, banning them. People that are using a VPN, banning them. People that are finding a way to play an emulator against mobile players, banning them. And really doing a good job keeping this game fair. I think they were pretty smart when they made this game free to play. If this game really was pay to win, there would be so many more hackers there, and it would be so much more difficult to combat that. But I'm not really seeing that many issues with hackers in this game, and that's a really, really good thing. They've taken such care in trying to cater to as many people as possible. You have multiple different devices that can play. You have an ability to play with a controller fairly and not get banned for it. You have a way to play this game on your computer using their official app and not get banned for it. And there's so many different ways that they're trying to make this so accommodating to so many different types of people, and I love that about Call of Duty Mobile. They're not just like releasing the game and letting it sit there. People are trying to figure out other ways and just getting banned for unfair reasons. They're actually doing a good job in banning people for the right reasons and actually making it, again, a super accommodating game. That's really what I love about this game. The fact that you can play this game in so many different ways, and this game is so accommodating to so many people. But hey, I guess with that being said, even though it's kind of an abrupt ending, we're finished with this video. I really hope you learned at least a couple of new things in this video. Maybe you already knew a lot of the different things that I mentioned here, especially if you're a more experienced player in this game, but my hope is that you learned at least a couple of new things here. If you did, then I would say it's a successful video. If you guys did enjoy, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like down below, and subscribe to my channel for future Call of Duty Mobile content coming out very, very soon. I actually have my entire schedule planned out for November, December, and early January, and I have some really, really cool Call of Duty Mobile content coming out very, very soon. So if you want to subscribe to somebody who knows what he's doing, then you might want to hit that subscribe button. It's just a wise decision, all right? But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as I said before, and I will see you all in the next episode.